Pope Francis was a truly remarkable figure, whose presence radiated kindness and hope wherever he went. He captured the hearts of millions worldwide, transcending borders, languages, and backgrounds. He earned the title, the People's Pope, a name that reflected his deep connection to ordinary people, his warmth, his humility, his genuine compassion. These qualities resonated deeply with people from all walks of life. He led with love and empathy, always putting the needs of the vulnerable first. This endeared him to Catholics and non-Catholics alike, making him a symbol of unity and understanding. Pope Francis's papacy was one of profound impact, marked by courageous stands on justice, peace, and care for the poor. He left an indelible mark on the Catholic Church and the world, inspiring countless people to act with kindness. Pope Francis will be remembered for his simplicity. He shunned extravagance and chose to walk a humble path, even as the world watched. He chose to live in a modest apartment, rejecting the lavish papal palace in favor of a simpler life. He rode in a simple car. These actions spoke volumes about his values and priorities. They reflected his belief in serving others, not just in words, but in daily actions and gestures. He showed the world that true leadership lies in humility, and that greatness is found in service. His actions continue to inspire us, especially the younger generations who look to him as a role model for compassion. The world mourned his passing in 2025, gathering in cities and towns to honor his memory. Millions felt a personal loss, as if they had lost a beloved friend or family member. Pope Francis had touched their lives in a real way, offering hope and comfort in times of need. He had a unique ability to connect with ordinary people. He spoke their language, listened to their stories, and understood their struggles. This is the essence of his legacy, a legacy built on genuine connection and heartfelt understanding. He was a Pope of the people, always present, always approachable, and always caring. His papacy was a beacon of hope, lighting the way for a more compassionate world. He showed us the power of love and compassion, reaching out to those most in need. He reminded us of our shared humanity and the importance of standing together in solidarity. He called us to build a better world, urging us to care for the earth and for one another. This is his enduring legacy, a legacy of humility, compassion, and hope that will live on for generations. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the future Pope Francis, was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1936, a city alive with culture and history. He grew up in a working-class family surrounded by the vibrant neighborhoods of Buenos Aires. This humble upbringing deeply shaped his worldview, instilling in him a sense of empathy and solidarity with ordinary people. He learned the value of hard work from his parents and neighbors, witnessing their daily struggles and perseverance. He saw firsthand the challenges faced by those living in poverty and the resilience of the human spirit. These early experiences left a lasting impression on him, guiding his choices for years to come. As a young man, he felt a profound call to the priesthood, drawn to a life of service and faith. He entered the Society of Jesus, known as the Jesuits, a religious order dedicated to education, service, and spiritual growth. The Jesuits are renowned for their intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice, values that resonated deeply with Bergoglio. As a Jesuit priest, Bergoglio immersed himself in serving the poor, dedicating his life to those on the margins of society. He worked tirelessly in the slums of Buenos Aires, walking alongside the most vulnerable and offering hope. He became known as a compassionate pastor, always ready to defend the marginalized and comfort the suffering. His leadership qualities shone through, earning him respect among his peers and the communities he served. He rose through the ranks of the Jesuit order, taking on greater responsibilities and guiding others in their mission. Eventually, he became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires, a role that expanded his influence and reach. In this position, he continued his tireless work with the poor, always prioritizing those in need. He also challenged social injustices, speaking out boldly against inequality and oppression. He spoke out against corruption, calling for honesty and integrity in public life. He became a respected voice for the voiceless, inspiring hope and courage in countless people. In 2013, the world was astonished when news broke from the Vatican. Cardinal Bergoglio was elected Pope, the first from the Americas and the first Jesuit to hold the papacy. He chose the name Francis, inspired by Saint Francis of Assisi, a champion of the poor and of peace. This was a powerful symbol, reflecting his desire for humility and simplicity in leadership. It signaled his intention to lead a humble church, one that listens and serves, a church that serves the poor, just like St. Francis of Assisi, and brings hope to those most in need. From the very beginning, Pope Francis broke with tradition, signaling a new era for the Catholic Church. He chose not to live in the grand apostolic palace, the traditional home of popes for centuries. This magnificent residence, filled with history and opulence, had long symbolized papal authority and power. Instead, he opted for a modest suite in the Vatican guest house, choosing simplicity over luxury. This decision sent a strong message to the world about humility and service. Pope Francis wanted to be closer to ordinary people, breaking down barriers between the papacy and the faithful. He emphasized compassion and mercy, making these values central to his leadership. He believed in a church that welcomes everyone, no matter their background, their struggles or their sins. He reminded us that God's love is unconditional, reaching out to all without exception. He showed this love through his actions, not just his words, by caring for the poor and the forgotten. He washed the feet of prisoners, demonstrating humility and solidarity with the marginalized. He embraced people with disabilities, making them feel seen and valued within the church. He reached out to those who felt marginalized, visiting slums and comforting the homeless. His humility was evident in everything he did, from declining special treatment to quietly praying among the people. He often greeted people with a warm embrace and a ready smile, making everyone feel welcome. He spoke from the heart and listened attentively, valuing every person's story and perspective. He treated everyone with respect and dignity, whether they were world leaders or everyday people. He showed us the true meaning of servant leadership, leading by example and inspiring others to serve. Pope Francis's papacy was a breath of fresh air, bringing hope and renewal to many. He brought a new, approachable style to the papacy, often breaking protocol to connect with people. He made the church more accessible, reaching out to young people and those who felt distant from faith. He made it more relatable to the modern world, embracing new ways to communicate and addressing contemporary issues with courage and compassion. Pope Francis was a tireless advocate for social justice. He spoke out against poverty. He condemned economic inequality. He called for action on climate change. He saw these issues as interconnected. He believed they were a threat to human dignity and to the future of our planet. He challenged the global arms trade. He called for peace in conflict zones. He urged world leaders to work together to address the root causes of conflict and injustice. He reminded us of our shared responsibility to care for one another and to build a more just and peaceful world. Pope Francis was a vocal supporter of migrants and refugees. He saw them as brothers and sisters in need. He called for compassion and hospitality. He reminded us that we are all children of God, deserving of dignity and respect. His words and actions inspired millions. He challenged us to examine our own consciences, to see the world through the eyes of the poor and marginalized, and to work for a more just and equitable world. Pope Francis believed in the power of dialogue. He reached out to other faiths and, he really fostered understanding and respect. He recognized the importance of working together to address common challenges and to promote peace and harmony. He engaged in historic meetings. He met with leaders of the Muslim world and also with the Patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church. He built bridges of understanding and friendship, showing that religion can be a force for unity, not division. Pope Francis condemned religious extremism. He called for mutual respect and understanding because he believed that violence in the name of religion is an affront to God. He urged people of all faiths to work together, to build a world where everyone can live in peace and security. His efforts to promote interfaith dialogue were, honestly, groundbreaking. He opened new doors for collaboration and set an example for the world to follow. He showed us that dialogue is essential to overcome prejudice and to build a more peaceful and just world. Pope Francis's Jesuit background profoundly shaped his papacy. The Jesuits are known for their intellectual tradition and, their commitment to social justice. Pope Francis really embodied these values. He was a thoughtful theologian, but also a man of action. He challenged the Church to be more engaged with the world, to address the issues of our time. He called for a more merciful church, a church that welcomes everyone, regardless of their background or beliefs. Pope Francis was not afraid to tackle difficult issues. He spoke out against clericalism, condemned abuse in the church, and called for transparency and accountability. He knew that real reform requires courage, and he was determined to make the church a more just and holy institution. His papacy was a call to action. He urged Catholics to live their faith in concrete ways, to be agents of change in the world, and to work for justice, peace, and the common good. In the final months of his life, Pope Francis faced serious illness. He did so with grace and courage. He continued to carry out his duties, and honestly, he never lost sight of his mission, to serve God and his people. His health declined, yet his spirit remained strong. He drew strength from his faith and from the love of the people. He continued to inspire millions. He showed the world how to face suffering with dignity. During his final Easter appearance, he was visibly frail, but his message was one of hope. He reminded us that death does not have the final word, that Christ's resurrection gives us hope, hope for a better world, hope for eternal life. His perseverance was a testament to his character. He never gave up. He never lost hope. He continued to serve others, even in his final days. Pope Francis was more than just the leader of the Catholic Church. He was a global icon, a voice of conscience for the world. He used his platform to advocate for peace, to champion the rights of the poor and marginalized. World leaders sought his counsel and respected his moral authority. He met with presidents and prime ministers, spoke at the United Nations, and used these opportunities to call for a more just and humane world. His message resonated far beyond the walls of the Vatican. He inspired millions to work for change. He showed us that we can make a difference, no matter our background or beliefs. Pope Francis's legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. He left an indelible mark on the world stage. He will be remembered as a champion of the poor, as a peacemaker, and as a voice of conscience in a troubled world. Pope Francis was a truly extraordinary figure. He was a man of deep faith, a compassionate pastor, and a tireless advocate for justice. He was a voice of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. He will be remembered as the people's pope. He was a man who lived his faith with humility and love. He reached out to the marginalized, embraced the outcast, and challenged the powerful. He reminded us that we are all called to love one another, as God has loved us. Pope Francis's legacy is one of love, compassion, and hope. He showed us that the Church can be a force for good in the world. He challenged us to build a more just and humane society. He inspired us to live our lives with purpose and meaning. His words and actions will continue to resonate for generations to come. He left the world a better place than he found it. May his legacy continue to inspire us to build a world where peace reigns, justice prevails, and love triumphs.